about to make a public commitment that will either completely change my YouTube channel or embarrass me in front of thousands of people. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why this might be the most important thing for your consistency journey. Hi, I'm Zandria Erickson, and today is day number 1 of my 90-day YouTube consistency challenge. I'm documenting this entire journey to keep myself consistent and so that I can teach you the exact framework that I'm using to be the kind of creator that I've always wanted to be. And this isn't just about YouTube, it's about becoming the person who consistently shows up for the things that matter to you. And here's what you weren't expecting today. You're gonna learn that there is a reason that I'm doing this publicly, and it's going to increase my chance of success by over 42%. Stick around because this might change how you approach every single goal you've ever set. When I turned 30, I knew that I wanted to put my head down and become the person that I've always wanted to be. And it's so weird because I've always had this vision of this person that I wanted to be, and it blew my mind that I couldn't just be that person. I wanted to work out because I knew it was important for my health and longevity. I wanted to become a writer but couldn't get myself to do a daily writing practice. I wanted to get serious about budgeting and my money, and I would still overspend every single month. And I knew I wanted to develop new friendships that were more aligned with where I was in my current life. I had this huge list of what I wanted to do and this person I wanted to be, and I couldn't get myself to do any of it. One place this showed up massively was in my ability to show up on social media like I had always wanted to. I had owned businesses since I was 18, and I have never been able to successfully create a social media persona around any of them. My biggest one is I've owned an accounting firm since I was 23 years old, and I knew that I kind of wanted to move more into the coaching space with that business, but I also knew that I had to have some sort of social media presence in order to do that. It took me 2 years to post my first video after I decided I wanted to, and it was terrible. Every video after that took me forever, and I just knew that it was not going to be sustainable. I was trying to follow trends, which has never aligned with me, so I made a couple videos, lost motivation, and decided to move on. I just didn't have systems, and the whole entire process felt really overwhelming. But when I started to dive into consistency and started dedicating all my time to learning about it, I realized that everybody has a different kind of consistency type. Productivity and consistency isn't a one-size-fits-all thing. There are 4 different types that I've been able to identify, and I'm going to teach you more about them in the second video, but we'll touch on them a little bit right now. I'm what's called an architect, and architects tend to thrive on frameworks and systemized progression, which my original attempt at social media completely lacked. And so when I decided to jump back into trying to do YouTube and back into trying to do social media, I saw April Lynn Adler's YouTube challenge, and I just knew that I had to jump in because she was providing a framework. She was providing a Notion template that broke down that framework, which I knew my architect mind was going to love. I just knew that this is exactly what my architect soul needed in order to start getting consistent in YouTube. And so here we are. This is video number 1 of that series of her challenge. And we're gonna go a bit into the story about how I got into consistency, how I'm gonna help you also get consistent. When I turned 29, I made a serious promise that by the time I was 30, my life was going to be completely different. So I put my head down and started doing what I do best and read book after book after book. I have always been an avid reader, and I find that long form texts like books is where I learn best. And I truly believe that knowledge is power. So I read over 50 books on consistency, habits, neurology, neuroplasticity, all so that I could culminate everything and turn it into frameworks that would work for me to change and become the person that I've always wanted to be. And here's the discovery that changed everything. Most of the productivity and consistency giants are men, and they tend to look at productivity in a very linear fashion and don't realize that women work in a very cyclical way. We live on a 30-day cycle of emotions and feelings and bodily changes that greatly impact our ability to stay consistent and continue to show up for ourselves. I always tell my husband that there's 4 different versions you're going to get of me each month, and there's nuance to all of them. I also learned that identity-led change is the only kind of change that has ever worked for me. We are a slave to our patterns, but we can feel the patterns that lead to the person that we want to actually become. So now back to that 42% chance increase in success that I mentioned before. Dr. Gail Matthews found in her study that people who share their goals publicly are 42% more likely to achieve them. And that's why I'm here making this public commitment to you. But it's not just about accountability. Every time that I show up and create content, I'm casting a vote to myself that I am someone who shows up and creates valuable content for my audience. Every single video will become evidence of who I am becoming. All of this to say, I want to create long-form content that teaches women how to become the version of themselves that they have always dreamed of becoming. And to do that, we have to learn how to do the actions and habits consistently that align with this new version of ourselves. So if you watch this entire series, you will learn about consistency and watch me get consistent with long-form content in real time, discover how you can start getting consistent with your content, whether you're a business owner or want to start a personal brand, and get access to frameworks designed specifically for how women actually work. So here's my official public commitment. For the next 90 days, I will show up consistently, document everything, and teach you what I have learned along the way. I'm gonna prove that you can become a consistent creator by watching someone else do exactly the same. Some videos will be polished, some videos will be experiments, some weeks I'll feel like a productivity queen, and then some I'll have to show you how to get back onto the horse when your systems completely fall apart. Because that's real life, and that's what sustainable consistency actually looks like. Speaking of sustainability, if you want to start getting consistent with content but feel like you need a little bit of extra help, I have a community called the Consistency Collective. This is where we deep dive into topics. You can learn what your consistency archetype is so you can start working with your brain instead of against it. You can learn how to build your dream life faster, get support from the community, and you get exclusive frameworks, SOPs, and processes that nobody else gets access to. The link is down below in the description. In the next video, we are going to deep dive into how exactly you can develop your own creative taste so you don't waste any time creating videos that don't align with the person that you want to be online. Hit subscribe if you want to follow this 90-day journey and start getting consistent in creating online content, and I will see you in video number 2.